kind wild ones, it's Bernadette. I'm here with your pick a card tarot reading for Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. First of all, thank you all so much for putting up with my craziness yesterday on my first live ever. You made it so easy and so much fun and so enjoyable. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you'll tune in next time. Now that I'm over the hump, all these plans are all in my head, right? So I'm going to be doing 2 lives a week for starters. One is going to be straight up live readings, and then the other will be for straight up for questions. And you know, I might sneak a few readings in there just because I love to do it. But I got to warn you guys, for those of you that are thinking about doing lives, please, and you probably already know this if you already do them. I'm the last schmuck to know, y'all. I didn't get any sleep last night. I buzzed. My energy input, intake, and output. The last time I had anything like that had to do with this, it was a class I gave. There were like 150 people in this class. It was nuts. And I was just, so I'm going to have to do something to ground today, or I'm just going to go floating off in a no man's land. And so I would tell you that it's not a caution. It's just a word to the wise, right? A PSA, if you will. And you can probably tell because I'm still all amped up like this, blah, blah, blah. But mostly that's because, hello! So the Rhino, which is the King of Pentacles in the arc, has shown up. And I'm just like, okay, we get it. Like, we get it. And what that's going to mean for you. And also, I promise that at the... Not like y'all wanted me to promise this, but I really need to drive home that my Kickstarter for the new book starts April 1st. It starts April 1st because April is Prevention for Cruelty to Animals Month. It's when the animal allies wanted me to have my Kickstarter so that I could bring more attention to that cause. And I have pledged to give $5,000 of the profits that I get from that Kickstarter to give to animal charities in 2021. And this is in addition to what I already do. I never share it with the world. I don't blab about that kind of stuff, but I do. Meaning I do other things for this. Is in addition to that. Somebody asked me that and I was like, that's a really good question. It's not. It's in addition to what I already do. And again, on Kickstarter, I'm not allowed to raise money for charity, but I can pledge funds to go to charities from the profits. And so that's what I'm doing. And so I'll have more and more information as that comes through, or that keeps unfolding. So, and I know I'm playing with my hair, but y'all, it's so humid in Florida. My hair went like a puffer fish. But okay, so back to the Rhinoceros. So this was nuts. So I got a whole bunch of emails, a ton of Facebook messages, people that heard about, well, I'm probably putting together a business class, right? Because what everybody wants to know, if you want to be a metaphysician, a full-time healer, a full-time reader, that's the sticky wicket of most people. And people just don't move forward because of any variety of reasons. But a lot of times it's because they don't want to do the business end. They don't know how to do the business end. They don't think they would ever know how to do the business end. It's much easier than you think. And I actually gave a piece of advice on yesterday's live reading to start with Google My Business, right? Okay. So the King of Pentacles in the traditional tarot card meanings, this is all about the pinnacle of material success. But it's also about deep introspection and transformation. And what that means is, so when you take a look at the traditional, from the Waite deck, which is what my deck is based on, even though it's all, you know, animals, and the arc infuses the amazing power and energy and medicine of animal allies and animal spirit guides, it's still based on the traditional archetypes of the Waite deck. So the King of Pentacles is sitting all around and everything is lush and it's abundant, and you know, it's got all of these animal powers in it, and this giant gold coin, and this giant gold scepter. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. That's so weird. Just yesterday, I was told, okay, it's time, you need to buy a rattle. Okay, so I bought a rattle with a bear on it. And I'll show it to you when you get here. I've never bought a rattle before. I don't, you know, and I just ordered a drum. Never thought I ever wanted or needed a drum, and I just ordered a drum from my amazing friend, Catherine Skaggs. It's a custom painted. She custom makes the drums. She custom paints them. I'll put her link down in the bottom. I can't wait till it gets here. I've never wanted those tools before, right? And all of a sudden, but He's got a golden scepter, and I just ordered. Okay, long story short. So you look around at this king and you're like, why isn't that dude smiling? Man, if I was like living the life like that, which I am in my own way, I'd be like, Chester Cheetah, I'd be like, it ain't easy being cheesy. But he doesn't smile. And the thought about this card for its meanings and its symbolism is, it's not that he's unhappy. It's not that he's not smiling. He's contemplating lofty spiritual things. He's getting really deep into that whole esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual zone. And that is going to dovetail on what you all are wanting to do. You live in that world of angels and numerology and astrology and zodiac and spirit and totem and power animals and tarot and crystals and psychic and mediumship and the whole 9 yards, right? But you're having trouble bridging the gap between, how do I leave my safe job and go transition to this? Well, it's going to start with the belief that you can. It's got to start with the understanding that you're being called to do that, so on and so forth. And so this is a sign. Like, this is such a huge sign. Now, please don't write me 6 months from now and saying my house is in bankruptcy because you told me to stop my job and go. I didn't tell you that. I did not tell you that. For everybody, there's a different path. Some people will jump that path like this. Some people, it'll take them a little while to ramp up to that, right? And everything in between. So the thing about the King of Pentacles, wow. Okay, so let's talk about Rhino first. So Rhino is a spirit totem and power animal. Oh my gosh. Also yesterday, if you saw yesterday's live, again, thank you for showing up. It was, wow, what an honor, what a compliment that you guys showed up and listened. And so the thing about it, yes, there was a big deal towards the end about about names. And then, oh gosh, and then later on in the afternoon, I had another conversation with somebody. I don't have her permission to say her name, but I had another conversation with somebody about a rattle. And the animal that's on this person's rattle, I called this animal Wolfie. And like that wolf appeared in front of me. I said, whoa. And that wolf was like, you're a nice lady and everything, but I'm Wolf. Not Wolfie, not Wolfie baby, Wolf. And I said, oh, okay. Apologies. Truly, my most profound apologies. And that's it, man. That wolf on this person's rattle. Oh no, this wants to be Wolf, not Wolfie. And yesterday there was a thing about a name. Well, with Rhino, their name is, Rhino is actually split in two. And the name, let me look it up so I get that right. Okay, so it's a mix of two Greek words. And it best describes, so Rhino is nose and Ceros, Ceros is horn. And they've got that horn on their nose, which interestingly enough is made from the same thing that your fingernails are made from, which, and also, oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself because this card has just like got me. So when I heard that and I saw that, what I heard was a literal grasping. And what that means is you got to reach out for it. You've got to reach out, get your nails did or whatever you need to do. And you're going to reach out for what that is that you want. That's going to bring you abundance, bring you pentacles, bring you coin. Listen, money. It's going to bring you money, physical material money in this world by you moving into your calling as a practitioner of whatever kind it is. Okay. So that said, somewhere in the back recesses of my head, I knew that there were 5 types of rhinos. But all of a sudden I saw 5 fingers, I saw the pentacle, and then I saw rhino. It's like, in element. It just hit me what Spirit was doing. We're going to make it elementary for you, Bernadette. And in elementary school, when you get those things like this plus this equals this, and it was pictures or whatever, it was kind of like that. Very, very childlike, very elementary. And I just kept seeing the number 5. Okay, so the number 5 is Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Spirit. It's a very sacred number. Look it up in numerology. It's craziness. The 5s in tarot, they don't bring such good news, but it is good news because once you get to the other side of that, of whatever that's not so great news, it's all gravy, baby. So right now what we're talking about in this reading is there's something about a name that's very, very important. Maybe you're trying to name your company. Maybe you've got a baby to name, a puppy, a kitten, a snake, a whatever. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but here's what's being told to me. No nicknames that are fluffy. It's gotta, whatever this thing is you want to name, it's gotta stand on the seat of its own power, and it's gotta be powerful like wolf, like a for real, ginormous, old world wolf, right? Okay, European wolves. It's not to take anything away from gray wolves or any other kind of wolf. That it's got to be, you're gonna have to tie the elements in somehow: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. And you're gonna, if you want to do what you want to do, which is marry Rhino, and I know that's crazy. I don't think anybody else has associated Rhino with spirit, totem, and power animal meanings. In this instance, tomorrow it may go back to the traditional meanings of Rhino. Who knows? It'll depend on what spirit tells me tomorrow morning. But when you're calling in Rhino energy, or you're wanting to work with Rhinoceros as a spirit, totem, and power animal, see how I keep doing this? It's because I'm channeling, and that's what I'm being called to do, right? And so it really is about reaching out and grabbing it. And I don't mean like, right? I mean like you reach out and you snatch what you want, you grab what you want, you hold on for dear life because it's yours. It is divinely meant for you, divinely inspired by you, and you're supposed to have it. Not because it's just you, but because you may not think so, but you've got a very unique take on what it is that you want to do. And that is across the board with business. When people ask me about business, which cracks me up because I do very well. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished, but it's not like I'm living in a house on the, on a mountain overlooking in Greece overlooking the sea or something. It's not like that. But I do really well. And somehow people tend to know that, and they ask me questions about business all the time. I don't know. But you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to whatever. That's not true. That's not true. What you're destined to do and what you're being called to do is whatever abundance you think. Not even close. You got to dream bigger, and you've got to make bigger happen. So rid yourself of that. Well, if I could just get to, or if I could just do this, or if I would be happy. Okay, and maybe you would. But if you can be happy at this level, why can't you be happy at this level? And remember, I'm only talking about money. I'm only talking about coin. I'm only talking about material wealth. Now, that can come in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. I was with, my BFF in England, and we were talking about a name to name the Ark. And we talked about it, and she sat up like this. She said, the Ark. So I have her to thank for that. And crazily enough, I get so many comments on that name about how it's perfect because it's all about saving the animals, and that's why you wanted to start the deck, so on and so forth. Dirt, burned it, didn't think of it. So that to me was priceless, and that translated into actual material abundance. And then I've given people ideas before. I've done this before, and that helped them translate into material abundance. So remember, you may not be looking for, I don't know why I have it sitting on my desk. It's from a long, you may not be looking at that, right? But you might be listening to something that's going to turn out to be, the $64 million answer. It's possible. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much to the King of Pentacles. Thank you so much to Rhinoceros for coming to us. Thank you to the sacred number 5. I realized the other day I don't say thank you enough, so I'm just going to be thanking everything and everybody from now on. And you know the drill. You know what you got to do. You got to do good for animals, and you got to stay wild.